Right, so today, let's in my online lessons so that we can cover ground. We have a class, I think around August, which is about to write their certification exams. And most of you, maingokopera, muchingoenda, musingamboite due diligence, kunyatsoziva kuti zvii zviri kuitika. So this is for you, starting with module number 3. I think CCNA1 pretty easy for most of you in terms of skill and what you need to know. The basics is a configuration, a switch, a router, IP addressing, a little bit of security nyana. And basically that's it. Those are my CCNA1. Going to CCNA2, starting point here, the VLANs. And what is that? Right, when you talk of VLANs, you talk of segmentation. When you talk of IP subnetting, we talk of segmentation. I think IP subnetting, we passed through that and everyone understood why we needed to segment my networks. It's very difficult to deal with large networks. So we segmented them to get a subnetting. From subnetting, we divided a very large network into small networks. And we're subnetting and we're dealing with layer 3. We're dealing with we were at layer 3. Everything we were doing with IP subnetting, we were at layer 3. At layer 2, we also have segmenting. Doing not to switch up on my VLANs. So the concept is basically the same. The only difference, we are segmenting at layer 2 to my VLANs, or we are segmenting at layer 3 to IP subnetting. The reasons why we subnet the same, that is theory for you. The theory side. Right. That said, why can I tell subnetting at layer 3? Why have segmentation at layer 2? Main reason they go to router no dura. And if we subnet at layer 3, it means we need a router for that. Routers are not dura. It doesn't mean we cannot we can no longer segment our network. To console segment and switch that in a router much cheaper. Therefore, VLANs. Proper introduction, I hope so. Right. Definition of VLANs is theory. What is a VLAN? Logical connections, similar devices, blah, 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 the whole stories. My benefits, small broadcast domains, improved security, IT efficiency, reduced cost, better performance, simpler management. I explained the cost already. In terms of security, you will see. You will see with VLANs, let me put it this way. You will see with VLANs, right, this is what we have. Network here. Right. So the network here in a switch here. My device is here like this. Right. In a normal setup, it's not VLAN. We didn't segment. It means in the case of broadcast, every device A, B, C, D, E, receive a message. Right? We have a company. In a company, in a devices A and B, one way HR, devices C and D, one way sales. One way sales, if they want to communicate, they send a broadcast, and every device, including one HR, they listen to that broadcast. That is without my VLANs. With my VLANs, one way sales, if they send a broadcast, message go from this sales device to the other sales device. Device A and B won't get that message because of my VLANs. In terms of security, it means in a company, I need someone with a mute mic, mute or right? So in terms of security, it means a group in a specific given company can communicate with each other without compromising information now, getting it listened by other groups in that specific company. In this example, on a sales, they can talk to an ex-sales only, and that information is contained for an sales only without getting to the other side of HR. So in terms of security, VLANs, they have those benefits. In terms of improved IT efficiency, dividing one group you are, that grouping, it improves efficiency. Vanhu vesales nelanguage dzavo dzavanotaura tinovagrupa in that way. Efficiency increased. Improve security, smaller broadcast domains, explains itself more broadcast domains. Instead of having broadcast inoenda ku PC A, B, C, D, E, we can only have a broadcast inoenda ku PC D and E, for example. Right, theory. That is theory. Blah, blah, blah. Let's go. Types of VLAN, default VLAN. When we started Nema VLANs edu, let's say CCNA1. When we started CCNA1, to create a switch visual interface, we noticed that then got interface VLAN 1. Why interface VLAN 1? Because they create a switch visual interface here in the default VLAN. And every device by default, every port by default, it belongs to the VLAN 1. Oh, you cannot delete that VLAN. That's the default VLAN, right? Other types of VLAN we have the data native management. Data, you can create a data VLAN, can also send a user traffic, user data. If you want to send user data, then we have a data VLAN. We have a native VLAN for untagged, for frames that are not tagged. So when we talk of tagging, how do you identify put this frame then a VLAN 10, VLAN 20, VLAN 30, etc., etc. Runoiswa tag yoyo per frame pane tag kanowedzerwa kanenge kakanyorwa VLAN ID, right? That's how a frame knows what I belong to VLAN 10, VLAN 20, etc. Now we also have my frames which don't have my tags. We also have my frames which don't have my tags, and if they don't have my tags, they belong to the native VLAN, right? So for example, panapa, if I have information from this device, VLAN 10, this is VLAN 10, this is VLAN 20, this is VLAN 20. And we have another PC right here, let's say PC1. It does not belong to any VLAN. So VLAN 10 here, it belongs to the data VLAN. It belongs to the data VLAN because pane user achasenda traffic yake VLAN 10, 20, 20 SMA data VLAN. Right, kana information ingasendwa from this device tag rinenge rakatonyorwa VLAN ID kuti it belongs to VLAN 10. So rikasvika paswitch panapa, switch rinoziva kuti this information inofanira kuenda VLAN 10 inouya kunoko, haimbofika yakauya kunoko because it's a different VLAN, right? Untagged PC1E does not belong to any VLAN. Ikasenda traffic yayo is not tagged kuti ndeye VLAN chi because it does not belong to any VLAN. So ikasvika paswitch apa inobva yaiswa native VLAN because it does not belong to any VLAN. So two types VLAN edu, data VLAN and native VLAN. What differentiates them? Inyaya tagging yoyi, identification yekuti kana VLAN data traffic ichibva mu-specific VLAN 10 for example, rinenge riri tagged. Kana riri kubva PC isina iri kubva port risina kuconfigure VLAN, then rinenge riri untagged. I just thought of something and rip up. My VLANs edu, VLAN inoconfigure papi. My VLANs anoconfigure pa port. I see PC and devices anoconfigure VLAN. So in this example, switch ready, my ports do anoconfigure VLAN. So if I can say, this is port fast 01, this is 02, this is 03, this is 04. Fast, fast, fast. All right. But tinoenda noconfigure VLAN iport iri. Zviro kana ndine PC pana PC1 ikangwa yakaconnecta to that port fast 01 yatom VLAN 10. Ndikabvisa PC1 ndikaisa another PC2 ikayakaconnecta pa port iro yatom VLAN 10 as well. So identification, let me say VLAN linked to the port, not to the end device. Linked to the port, not to the end device. So going back, kungatotaura types of VLANs, native, tataura tagging, then management VLAN, last voice VLAN, management VLAN, rataiti interface VLAN 1, tichicreate SVI chapter number 2, yes, CCNA 1. That was our management VLAN. Takaisa VLAN redu default kuti rive management. When you talk of management, we're talking of traffic here, SSH. As we go, you see traffic here, routing, my routing protocols. This is manager. Oh, yes, I'm going to open a management VLAN. The traffic yakawanda. For now, you probably know, you probably know of SSH is traffic here that mentions for management. Right. You know, create a separate VLAN here. Then we have voice traffic, created a separate VLAN here. But when you have efficiency, take for example, voice VLAN and data VLAN. The benefits of having my VLANs is so that you can separate traffic. And you can separate the traffic, it becomes very easy to prioritize one type of traffic over the other. Right. Example. Let's say we have how do we have a new all right, new page. Right, let's say we have voice traffic and data traffic. Can I do one road for these two types of traffic? I cannot separate them. Data rinongopinda road yoyo, voice rinongopinda road yoyo. When I have VLANs, what VLANs do, it means voice yane road yayo, data rane road yayo. So ikasvika, for example, possibly per router, ikasvika per router traffic, I can say data iri rinombomira, iri voice ndo rinofana kuvhura. That is prioritization of traffic. So benefits of my VLANs, it means we can separate traffic, tane data, tane voice, tane management, tane native, to separate the types the data that go away. So it means I can easily prioritize if I want to prioritize that data. Benefits. Right. So voice VLAN, ingor VLAN is kwa traffic ye voice. And I think reasons the prioritization, quality of service, etc., that's theory to most. Right. VLANs in multi-switch networks, defining VLAN trunks, network without VLANs, network without VLANs. Right. Defining VLAN trunks. Can a true configure network? When you talk of multi-switched environments, what are we talking of? Multi-switch. The name of switch akawanda, multi. Basically, that's it. Let me see. Right. Just a minute. Just a minute. Full screen. Right. When you talk of I think Nandabashi, let me see. Defining VLAN trunks. I want to define my trunk, my access ports. When we talk of configurations, my VLANs, like I said, I'm uploaded in a port first 01, 02, up to 24, etc., etc. And then my PC in a room VLAN 10, in a room 20, in a room 30. The rest are assume my VLANs. Right. When I do my configurations, my port I can differentiate them to have and my access ports near and not trunk. Right. Access port it type of port rinokwanisa kuhandle only one type of VLAN. Only one VLAN, if I can say. User data mostly. Port role is connected to the end devices. So in this example, port iri am access ports because they are connected to the end device. I know transporter only one type of VLAN. Then we have trunk. Trunk, transporter multiple VLANs. It can take in multiple VLANs. So in this example, port redu riri panapa itrunk iri. Let's say reconnected to another switch. Iri no futi rinoita trunking. It's called the trunk port because panapa pachafamba multiple VLANs. In this port riri panapa munenge mune VLAN 10 chete. Haone chimwe chinhu choka VLAN 10, munoona VLAN 20 chete, VLAN 30 chete. But in this specific port you can see 10, 20, 30 kana kuenda kune rimwe switch. So that's the difference between two ports here to access and trunk. Right. Moving on, network without VLANs, I've explained this in terms of my broadcast. Kana tisina ma VLANs broadcast inoenda kwese kwese. Kana tina ma VLANs broadcast inoenda to specific VLANs. It's a broadcast within a VLAN. Kana tisina ma VLANs broadcast is every device. Kana tana ma VLANs is every device in a specific VLAN. That's the difference. VLAN IDs, VLAN identification, tambotaura nenyaya tagging. There we can see frame rate. Let me see. There we can see frame rate. Can I not minimize this? Hide floating, hide video panel, disable. Right. I can see panapa. This is my frame rate and rectangle. Right. Let me see. Can I not write? Should be able to write in. Right. I can see frame rate. This is the original frame rate that layer 2 frame. Destination, source mark, type, data, the FCS. Right. Now kana ta configure my VLANs in between the source mark and the type paniswa something else tag VLAN yedu. Most importantly rinenge rine VID which is the VLAN ID. Kana frame rate rabam VLAN 10 which means information inenge iri munomu inenge iri kutaura kuti frame rate rabam VLAN 10. Everything else theory, not much important. Understanding zero basic. It gives you room to understand the zero just above basic. So the basic ndo you understand what tagging is ndo mune VLAN ID, ndo mune identification yekuti VLAN yedu VLAN chi. Kana pasina tag iyo traffic iri kuenda ku native VLAN. Kana iripo iri kuenda ku VLAN yayo chaiyo. And that is native VLAN for you. Then voice VLAN tagging, right? Tagging a voice VLAN is a bit different with every other tagging. It includes COS priority. It helps in KOS. Level 2, it helps with COS. I think it's level 5. Varuta CCNA3 wakata KOS, N1 arimo, you can unmute yourself. That voice traffic level COS. I think one is 7 my levels, 0 to 7, I think. It should be level 5 in terms of prioritization. And this is you can unmute yourself modules. Voice traffic level G. So when you tag it is going to COS priority value. Let's give an example. Let's say 0. Most it should be prioritized. Can I run a COS priority 0? It should be most prioritized. So this can become our voice. I'm not sure about the numbers. So let's say data traffic in around 7. It's not 7. Let's say 4. This is data traffic priority. So it means tag iri parinosvika parouter. Router rinoziva kuti kana pane tag 0 ne traffic in tag 4. I take 0 first, 4 inombosara. That's how prioritization works. So basically, that's a thing for, I think, CCNA3. I'm not so sure. That's a thing for CCNA3 prioritization and all that. So no tagging in per voice VLAN. It's a little bit different with others because of prioritization. Voice VLAN tagging, right? VLAN configuration, klar, done. Taptenda about configuration. So theory-wise, summary. You just have to know the VLAN chi, what are the benefits of VLANs, what are the types of VLANs that we have, what is the difference between the data VLAN, native VLAN, or explain in terms of tagging and tagging why information is going to mune VLAN iri untagged. Ukwanisa kuexplaina kuti ndikaisa broadcast within a VLAN, every device within that same VLAN is going to receive a message. But other devices which are not in the same VLAN, they won't receive that broadcast. Right. VLAN configurations. Can I configure my VLANs? Let's have a simple scenario here. How many pieces do I need? Let's have a switch. Right. Let me have 2 switches. Let me have other 2 pieces here. All right. Later, my configurations of VLAN and parallel, and they are pretty simple. Pretty simple. You have to create my VLANs Agile. That's one. You create the VLANs, you assign my, okay, let's just give this one. You assign my ports to my VLANs. You create my access ports, cannot my trunk, and basically that's it. We have in creating my VLANs, let me see, steps. We have steps we have in creating my VLANs. Let me put them panel. And the application is right. 1, we're going to create and name my VLANs. It's very simple. 2, we're going to assign my ports. Assign ports to VLANs. This is all you have to do on all dilemma VLANs. Number 3, you can verify information using my show commands. Good, my VLAN why is correct, array, etc., etc. Let me not do that. Right. All right. We're going to verify. That's 3. We're also going to show how to change port membership. How do you change my ports? Lord Visam VLAN 10, Kurenesa VLAN 20. Change port membership. We're also going to, let's say, delete a VLAN. How do you delete a VLAN? Then number 4, we're going to create my trunks. All right, to create my trunks. For create my trunks, we're going to check if you need a VLAN. To create a native VLAN ready. To create a VLANs allowed list. Then after this, to demonstrate good my VLANs do traffic can I broadcast, you know, to say etc. etc. To demonstrate as well, you cannot send you cannot have traffic from VLAN 10 going to VLAN 20. For now, you cannot do that. As we go, you see, actually we can inter VLAN routing. Right, voila. Tap and up. And then I always have this to help me. And I gave advice. I recommended to command list so that it becomes easier to understand my configurations in. And this is my command list. That's why my VLAN configurations can be very easy to me. Everyone needs this. Vakapedza CCNA 3 waiting for their certification exam. I think mane mvumo yekupiwa this. Because kwamakusvika kune kwakuti news bicha full screen. Right. So these are my commands for VLAN configurations. Step number 1, we are going to create and name our VLANs. And my configurations at Chashandisa are these 2. These 2 are VLAN ID and the VLAN name. Right, let's go. My VLANs are not created for my switch, not for my end devices. Right, I can have VLAN. I'm going to create 2 my VLANs, VLAN 10 and VLAN 20. Right, connect to a carrier for something like this. Let me just Let me just write one here. Right. Right. So create a network, I get something like this, running out of time. That is 40 minutes. So VLAN 10, VLAN 20, VLAN 10, VLAN 20. Right. To that network, I get something like this. All right. Here we are. Right. So I'm create and name my VLANs angle. VLAN 10. Direct to the VLAN 10. Paper name. Ready networking. Big name. VLAN 10, title creator. Then we create another VLAN 20, paper name, telecoms. Title creator, my VLANs edu, done. Tikaenda kunoshoka my VLANs edu, we can see my show commands edu are very important. I think at this point, kana CCNA 2 or CCNA 3 for others, you probably understand the importance of understanding my show commands. Mashoko command is very important. Cannot download network yako function say. What are the current settings zilipo? Pane problem yatinayo, iri papi problem yacho. You need to know mashoko commands and akawandisha. Right, for VLANs, these are our show commands. We can see pana to create a two-man networks edu, two-man VLANs edu, VLAN 10 and 20 networking and telecoms. But at the moment, there are no ports assigned to those two VLANs. My ports A's are assigned to VLAN 1 by default. All right, so the next thing, let's assign my ports edu to this specific switch. Start enda to the other switch on the right. So my ports edu and I can see pana port number 2, VLAN 10 port number 2, VLAN 20 port number 1. Then I assign my ports edu. How do I assign my ports edu? The command unopinda port first. So into port number 1, interface first, and up port number 1. First command, switch port mode access. Switch port mode access. Ndikaenda kunoko irikundodza kuti set the port to access mode. Ndambotaura nyaya yetuma types yemaports. A port can be in access mode or in trunking mode. And maport ari kuenda kuma-end devices anofanira kunge ari mu-access mode. By default, anenge akaiswa ma-dynamic ports. Anenge ari dynamic. It should be auto, desirable auto. But it's definitely dynamic by default. So ukasaisa ku-access, you cannot actually transmit any information because rinenge riri dynamic. Right? So rinofanira kuisa ku-access, tarisa ku-access. Next thing, let me see, switch port, access, VLAN number 20. Right, that command ndeyekuisa kuti port fast ethernet 01, it belongs to VLAN 20. That's the command, and basically that's it. So tatoisa port kuVLAN ratiri kuda, takuenda port number 2, toisa VLAN 10, switch port mode access as well. Instead of VLAN 20, yet ane VLAN 10. Tasaina maports edu, and unocheka show run. Not sure. Let's show my VLANs. Let's show my VLANs. I can now see networking here. Yeah, first Ethernet port number 2 belong VLAN number 10, and the other one port number 1 belong in VLAN number 20. To create my VLANs edu done. I can do the same this side, right? But to create my access, let's create a trunk as well. That port connected to my end devices, then get room access. Then we have this port connected to another intermediate device. It should be in trunking mode. So port number chi, I think it's port number 3. Port number 3, ufanele trunking mode. Right? I think tapa step number 1, 2, 3 tapedza. Atsata change a port membership. Right. Let's create a trunk first anyway. Config terminal interface. First port open port number 3. Open port number 3, switch port mode trunk. Instead of access, port rinoiswa trunk mode because richafambisa multiple VLANs. Taridaro, basically that's it. Let me check with my commands. I think basically that's it. Let me remove this one. Switch port mode trunk. I think Chinecha Sara VLAN. Kurisa native VLAN. Right, we have deal with this one, mode access. There is a VLAN, there is a voice for now. Then trunking, there's a trunk. Right, allowed list. We're going to deal with this one now. Switch port trunk allowed VLAN, there's a VLAN list. Trunk rako unokwanisa configure kuti ndikuda VLANs api andinoda kuti apfuure through that trunk. In this example, tine only 10 and 20. That in a 10, 20, 30, 40. Ndikati allowed per list inongoisa 10 and 20. It means in trunk momo 30 and 40 will not be able to go through that trunk. So at times, ukasaisa, everything will go through. So by default, ukasaisa, everything goes through. But in this case, tikaisa, say for learning purposes, switch port trunk allowed. Switch port trunk allowed VLAN list. Right, I can check. I can say all VLANs, which is the easiest to do here, which is all by default anyway. Or on the consequence, if ndoda VLAN 10 chat, because a VLAN 10 chat, only VLAN 10 can go, etc. etc. Right. So, right, I have 2-3 minutes left. Because I show run here, show VLANs. Let me see. Right, I can see the first two things are data. Create my VLANs, naming them, assign my ports to specific VLANs. Can I do that show trunking? I can also do that. Let me see, show VLAN. And also trunking ID, name, brief. Which command yanga chance of show trunking bana? Let me see. Tonality trunking either papi. Show VLAN summary, show interface trunk. All right, show interface trunk. The importance of show command. All right, show interface trunk. I can see port number 3 and what is called trunking here. Port number 3 native VLAN at now configure and my allowed VLANs. You can see 1, 10, 20 because that all 1 by default it passes through 1, 10, 20 and all my allowed VLANs using the show command. 1 minute left. Right, how do I change port membership? Mano commands ndo panoshanda kana ndoda kuchinja ndinobvisa from VLAN 10 kuda kuita vice versa. Port iri rangandaisa VLAN 20 ndoisa VLAN 10 ndingoenda no switch port or kungosvika unopfekera switch port access VLAN 20 direct rinobva ratochinja pamba pane VLAN 10 rinobva ratochinja yoita 20. Right, I'm rushing a bit but I can see 1 minute. Vane extra 10 minutes just to conclude. This one is going to end. Join in again, then I can conclude. I think it's 5-10 minutes. My VLANs edu. Takamirira kuti conclude. Hello everybody. Muri watano here. Mike makuchu. varisiwe kunotoni munanani kwatsika ashamba mutyavaviri wachitoko